Welcome to the Application Lab. Today we are reviewing real estate agency relationships. By the end of this lesson, you should understand how these roles are defined and the specific duties owed to each party. This framework maps out the basics. Here is the simple version. An agent acts on someone else's behalf. This requires mutual agreement. A consumer cannot force you to be their agent, and you cannot represent them without their consent. Once you both agree, the consumer becomes your client. You become the client's agent and their fiduciary, a person in a position of trust who owes loyalty to another. Professional trust and legal loyalty are not automatic. They are legally activated only by this specific mutual agreement. Let's break down the transaction roles. This map shows the term principal, which has two meanings in real estate. A principal is either an agent's client in an agency relationship or a party to a purchase and sale contract. A consumer is someone you have no contact or very limited contact with. Once a consumer makes contact with you about real estate, they become a customer. They are involved in the transaction, but you do not represent them. A client has an active agency agreement with you. This is the only person to whom you owe fiduciary duties. Real estate law requires you to prioritize your client's interests. If you provide a customer with the same advice or negotiation advantages you provide a client, you are using your client's loyalty for the benefit of a third party. Think of it this way with the 3 C's. Consumer means no contact. Customer means contact. Client means consent. The legal duties you owe to an individual change once they move from customer to client through that consent. Here is a real-world example. Jean is selling her house to Marcus. You represent Jean. Marvin is working with Marcus, but they do not have an agency agreement. Based on your agreement, Jean is your client, and she is your principal in that agency relationship. Marcus is a customer to Marvin because they lack an agreement. However, because Jean and Marcus are entering into a sale contract together, Marcus is still a principal to the transaction. Let's test this. If a buyer walks into your open house and makes significant contact but signs no agreement, are they a client or a customer? The answer is customer. You do not represent them. Applying the wrong labels misaligns your legal loyalties and can lead to license violations. This framework outlines secondary roles. A non-agent acts as a middleman, only assisting with clerical tasks. A sub-agent is an agent of an agent, working under the listing agent to represent the seller. This creates vicarious liability. The seller is liable for both agents. Exam tip: you owe loyalty only to your client. If a seller asks you to help negotiate against your buyer client and you do so, you violate the trust and the terms of your agency agreement. Quick recap. Agency requires mutual agreement. The term principal refers to either a client or a contract party, and you owe fiduciary loyalty only to your clients. Distinguishing between these roles helps you maintain compliance and clear boundaries in your practice. Follow the Application Lab for real estate concepts made simple.